Although Sigma INFJs may be the least troubled people, that does not mean they will tolerate anything or anybody happening to them. Instead, they implement their norms and assertively alter poisonous individuals' behavior. 10th mentality, they serve as positive role models. Sigma INFJs set excellent examples because they are aware of how difficult it is to alter someone's attitude without having them do it first. They also let people observe how a changed behavior seems from a third party. This offers them greater motivation to make the beneficial changes in themselves, and they stop portraying the Sigma INFJs as superior to them if they want the toxic individuals since they will act as positive role models for those who wish to improve their thinking or behavior. Toxic individuals will be able to see themselves in those positions, what enhancements may look like for them, and why a Sigma INFJs might find them appealing. Do you currently have any harmful persons out of your life? 9th, by establishing good examples, they won't make an effort to please even though the change in attitude isn't immediately apparent. These toxic people can be lovely and nice one day while confusing you the next. They can also be reassuring one moment while puzzling you the next. Sigma INFJs are aware of it. Sigma INFJs just feel it, but unlike others, they won't get caught up in their drama. They won't try to appease them or adjust to where they are because they know that toxic people are just trying to get them to submit to their terms. But this is the last thing they would do. Instead of going above and beyond to make the people they care about happy, Sigma INFJs will stop tolerating their perplexing behavior, attitudes, and simply go. They will traumatize you and misdirect the harmful individual. Guess number 8. Sigma INFJs are aware that they aren't responsible for other people's feelings and, at the very least, shouldn't have to defend toxic individuals to others. Sigma INFJs have the power to make toxic individuals alter their conduct by observing behaviors and attitudes for what they are instead of viewing them in terms of their prospective improvements or how they wish for them to be. They will be brutally honest about what they really think of them. No sugar, no filters. Even when they are among other people, they do not cover up or minimize the abuse. In order to compel them to change, Sigma INFJs will disclose their harmful tendencies rather than defending them. Some toxic individuals are resistant to change due to a lack of demand or action. They are smug because they know that even without the upgrades, things will still be fine since they can modify these people's terrible thinking because Sigma INFJs won't tolerate their behaviors in that way. Have you ever, as a Sigma INFJ, justified someone else's toxicity? They consider how others make them feel. They can better navigate their interactions by being aware of how toxic people's activities influence them. Poisonous individuals say nasty or impolite things. Perhaps it's simpler to brush them off as unintended or a simple error. But Sigma INFJs give more importance to how these phrases make them feel than to how they actually sound. People make their decisions on what should I do with this person on how they say or act, not what they mean them to be. Adversely affect their well-being. They will take the necessary actions to reduce negative events. This is how the Sigma asserts their identity. Criteria for their partnership. This is how they protect themselves from the abusive inclinations of others. Finally, they will force them to own their sentiments rather than owning up to their feelings and experiences, which is how they push individuals to change if they don't want to move on to number 6. Toxic people behave in that manner. When a toxic person is angry but won't act on it, this projection of sentiments from the Sigma INFJs is known as emotion. Assume accountability. They will claim that the Sigma INFJs is upset with them because they are unable to at least temporarily address the anger because it is so unpleasant. However, Sigma INFJs are aware of what is theirs and what is not, and they are aware of where person's accountability ceases and theirs begins. They are aware that they need not combine just them and their loved ones in their world to express their love for them. Rather, they will state their viewpoint and allow these individuals to taking accountability for their feelings. Do you have experience dealing with INFJs? Erroneous charge from a toxic person. 5. They prioritize themselves. According to Sigma INFJs, self-love isn't putting oneself first as being selfish. The ability to improve oneself in a relationship, they are aware that they are not excellent spouse, coworker, or close acquaintance, have not recovered from their problems. They understand they can't act responsibly, and if they don't take care of their relationships, taking good mental, physical, and firstly, spiritual health, therefore, as opposed to allowing negative individuals to the best qualities out of them. Some boundaries between them, and where they finish, they will not put up with anything destructive. Likewise, they will not compromise their tranquility. Convinced with their nonsense after understanding how INFJ's Sigma work, stays put and never makes adjustments others' demands, that poisonous individuals will instead adjust to theirs. How Sigma INFJs impart harmful knowledge, individuals lesson forth. They seize authority over the situation in carrying out their guidelines and boundaries. Sigma INFJs are aware that they must either assume responsibility or delegate manage them. Additionally, since they can't let others the power to disrupt their calm and impose, they will become cautious and tread carefully, more confident than they once were. Even without these harmful individuals, Sigma INFJs always practice respect and insidious authority in their interactions. They might not be the same as the alpha, but their authority can be established via being strict about what is acceptable and not okay. There will be no exceptions or justifications. Thus, those who are toxic are without recourse. They must either accept it or go. Therefore it, however, as a Sigma INFJs does, authority entails total command, greater than your ties. Third, they won't make an effort to rectify them. Sigma INFJs may feel a need to assist someone. They enjoy altering their conduct, knowing about their suffering. It is in fact, it's alluring to become a healer as opposed to another person who needs care, affection. However, Sigma INFJs think that the individual must be eager to improve oneself to implement the required adjustments in their life. Therefore, Sigma INFJs will never, ever to exhaust others' energy. They'll make their emotional requirements known and uphold their principles. In the end, these toxic individuals, they'll understand that they need to commit and put forth greater effort to maintain relationship. They'll comprehend that keeping a relationship demands involvement of the two people. With that, they'll do whatever it takes to. Sigma INFJs persist, and this is regarded as a first step to bringing about a favorable shift in their outlook and behavior. They won't be interested in number 2. Demonstrating oneself to anyone. Sigma INFJs are aware of how poisonous people lie before apologizing, hence there is no point in argue. They understand they'll embellish the truth, falsify the truth, and alter the timeline to persuade others to accept their nonsense. But Sigma INFJs remain vigilant and thoughtful. People are aware of their surroundings, well aware of their circumstances, that they won't be hesitant to proceed. What would this mean if they weren't there? Says that they won't compromise on the truth. They would prefer to be confident in their representations of reality that are acceptable. Additional iterations only to maintains a relationship. You have better things to do as a Sigma INFJs than these pitiful discussions, don't you? First of all, they create it themselves. Only those who are accessible to toxic people can be abused. Make oneself available at all times so they can only take advantage of and abuse them. Individuals who donate, and since Sigma INFJs aren't successful, they believe that abusive persons can only abuse their victims when they allow them to. Thus, to reframe these people's thinking, they should make themselves available to everyone so that no one can use them. Perspectives: there won't be a go-to person for Sigma INFJs. They will only make themselves accessible and provide assistance to those who obtain their trust to avoid having to make space for you. For their own grievances, people's sense of entitlement is crushed by Sigma INFJs because they are unavailable when they are most needed. If Sigma INFJs try to change the minds of poisonous people, they won't be able to. Aren't as aggressive, reserved, and firm as they are as a Sigma INFJs. Have you ever been tricked by someone? How did you alter this individual's outlook?